So good morning everybody, it's from Jayashree. I am going to take electric circuits and electronic devices, the introduction of single phase circuits. Okay, let us see what do you mean by single phase circuits. Okay, so it's composed of one alternating voltage source and load, and is common in residential and small commercial applications. This is what the introduction of this single phase circuits. Only few components are present in this. Okay, so let us see what is the waveform in AC circuits. Okay, AC signals can vary with time, often represents the sine waves. A complete oscillation of the waveform is called a cycle. The horizontal axis represents time and the vertical axis represents the voltage or current. And the sinusoidal waveform is the most common AC waveform. Other waveforms include square, triangular and sawtooth waveforms. Positive and negative half cycles alternate in each period. Okay. Next one, amplitude indicates the maximum value of voltage or current. Zero crossing occurs when the waveform passes through the horizontal axis. Phase shift describes the displacement of one waveform relative to another, and AC waveform is repetitive with identical patterns in each cycle. Okay, next one, period and frequency. These are the period, time taken for one complete cycle. This is what the period is, measured in seconds or milliseconds. And frequency, number of cycles per second. It is measured in hertz or kilohertz. The frequency is inversely proportional to the time period. Higher the frequency means faster oscillations. Common frequency is 50 hertz and 60 hertz in Europe. Period and frequency are inversely proportional. How fast the AC voltage changes polarity? Used to calculate inductive and capacitive reactance. Next one, peak value. The maximum amplitude of the waveform. It is denoted as Vmax and Imax. It's occurred in each positive and negative half cycle. It determines the highest voltage and the current reached. Importance of insulation ratings and safety directly related to RMS value and average values. Peak to peak value is double the peak value. It is used in calculating the instantaneous power. Affects voltage stress in components. Helps size components like capacitors and inductors. RMS means for root mean square value. It represents the equivalent DC value that produces the same power. Formula for sinusoidal waveform is Vmax and Vrms, and which is the square root of this, and power formula is Vrms Irms into cos pi. V is equal to V into I. Okay, it ensures the accurate measurements of AC signals. It helps in designing fuses and circuit breakers. Okay, it is most useful in power calculation than the peak value. So inductors opposes the changes in current flow. Inductance is measured in Henry. Voltage across the inductor or inductive reactance XL is equal to 2 pi FL. Current lags voltage by 90 degrees purely inductive circuit. It stores energy in a magnetic field. It increases impedance with higher frequency. Causes phase shift between voltage and current. Used in transformers and motors. Filters high frequency signals in circuits. Okay, next one, form factor and the peak factor. Form factor is defined as the ratio of root mean square value to the average value of the alternating quantity. Form factor is equal to 1 RMS to the ratio of 1 average. Peak factor is defined as the ratio of maximum value to the RMS value of the alternating quantity. The alternating quantity can be voltage or current. Peak factor is equal to Imax divided by Irms. The difference between the form factor and the peak factor is what? Form factor take the I average at the denominator, whereas peak factor taken the Irms at the denominator. Phasor representation of the alternating quantity. Va is equal to Vm1 sin omega t. Vb is equal to Vm2 sin omega t. Where Va and Vb crosses 0, the maximum and minimum points at the same time, they are said to be in phase. They can be vertically represented as this diagram, phase and phasor difference. Okay. An alternating quantity can be represented in a form of wave and equation. The waveform gives the graphical representation, whereas the equation represents a mathematical representation of the instantaneous values of the alternating quantity. The same alternating quantity can be represented by the line of definite length. Alternating current is a type of electric current that reverses direction periodically, in contrast with the direct current which flows only in one direction. Thank you all.